Hello and welcome back to Sandy Park. Gloucester have beaten the Exeter Chiefs 27 points to 19. In fact, Gloucester haven't won here in the last 4 years in any competition, but they have all but ended Exeter's European journey. Ed Jackson has caught up with Ben Morgan and man of the match, Ollie Thorley.
Guys, hell of a result. Couldn't quite get the bonus point at the end there. Saw a cheeky 11-man line out or something he went for, but either way, what a win.
Yeah, look, it's a cracking result. A lot of teams come down here and don't come away with anything, so no, we're really chuffed. We stuck to our plan and it's a credit to our squad here. Every man 1 to 23 came on, did their role, and we got the result.
What was the plan coming into this one, and did it have to change because of the weather conditions?
Yeah, obviously weather wasn't great, but we only played Exeter a couple of weeks ago and didn't quite get it right, so we had a few fix-ups. Obviously we've got the challenge of having them home next week as well, so we wanted to hold the ball, go through phases, and that's the credit to the lads working hard right and through to the end.
Ollie, first Champions Cup game. It's pretty easy, isn't it?
I mean, any game against Exeter Chiefs is never going to be easy. They're a pretty formidable outfit, which is why they are where they are in the Premiership. So we knew it was going to be tough today, but I'm just really pleased that we stuck to our plan and executed it well. So it's really exciting going on into the next week. So.
Well, congratulations both for you. Ollie, you are the Heineken man of the match. Let me just bring Keith in to present you with the award.
Well, if we just look at the table for Pool 2, we can see for the moment Gloucester are at the top, Exeter Chiefs at the bottom. They have not won a match yet in Europe this year. Their European journey is all but over, because I know that I don't want to write it off, because Jack Noel will definitely have something to say about that. But I'm delighted to say that joining us is Johan Ackerman. What a turnaround in performance, considering that you played here a couple of weeks ago. Didn't get the result, but my goodness, the boys did well for you today.
Yeah, I mean, we're obviously grateful and pleased. You know, it was a lot of heart out there. It was a physical game. And I think, you know, we must be honest, a few bounces went our way, and just a lot of character from the players to turn it around. But I mean, it's a big, tough game still ahead of us, and nothing easy is going to come.
What was the difference out there?
Like I said, I think this week we had a few bounces that gone our way, a few of those balls that can bounce anyway, and just the guys, you know, work rate was up there, and you know, it's a tough team, Exeter. We've got a lot of respect for them and what they've achieved, and on the day, you know, I think our set piece was good, and it's going to be a massive challenge.
Exeter got the first points on the board. They're a side who rarely comes away with nothing. They normally manage to grind something out, but you didn't give them that chance today.
Yeah, like I said, I think we managed the game quite well, and then we, you know, played it in the right areas, and credit to the players, the defence was very good today.
Going forward, you've obviously got the reverse fixture next week.
Yeah, it's a short turnaround, only a few days rest. Players already say it was one hell of a physical game, so probably need to look first, see who's injured, who's available. But it's like I said, we haven't done anything other than, you know, won a really hard contest, and we have to repeat that next week.
What is the sort of game plan for next week, and when do you go get back in, get training, and turn your head away from a great win here at Sandy Park, but focus on next week? Yeah,
you're 100% right. We have to treasure this. It was, you know, we have to enjoy this. I think now we will be back in on Monday, and like I said, take stock of who's available, and then try and get the boys ready for Friday.
Johan, thank you so much for joining us. We'll let you go.
I see us standing with all the wingers here. So.
I know.
He's feeling very fast, very fast.
Really very fast.
That's got all the tries normally. So.
They've got all the tries and all the chat. So thank you very much for joining us. Jack, it's maybe not been the most comfortable day for you on Channel 4 watching that. We said at the beginning that we thought that, just if you're looking at past trends, that the match a couple of weeks ago, Exeter would have this one here at Sandy Park.
Yeah, I think there's no given game. Is that you know, it was tough out there to watch, tough for the fans, you know, tough for the players. You know, boys got a bit knocked up, but at the end of the day, you can't take anything away from Gloucester. They turned up today. They came with a very physical game, and you could see straight from the start, first whistle, and after half time as well. We turned up a bit, but you know, they came away with it, and yeah, like I said, full credit to Gloucester. They performed very well today, and they definitely deserved the win.
The turning point for me almost seemed to be once the heavens opened about 20 minutes into the game, because up until that point, Exeter had been really good the way they were controlling the match. It felt like it had all been down in the correct area of the field for them, and then almost the weather came. Gloucester almost adapted a little bit better to the tactics. It was a little bit scrappy during middle sections of the game, and I thought that Gloucester come the second half, it was very one-sided in Gloucester's favour, and they thoroughly deserved the win, almost forcing the pressure upon Exeter and forcing them to make mistakes as well. I thought tactic-wise, Gloucester were fantastic. They competed at every line-out Exeter had because they felt that they didn't want to give them the chance to almost get this driving game going. So they thought, well, let's compete against the line-out, and they won a lot of turnover ball in that area.
Jack, we heard Rob Baxter talk before the game about not letting complacency slip into the side, and he said last week against Quins, they had to come back on Monday, refocus, and start putting those basics into place that have made Exeter that dominant force within the Premiership. Where do they go from here in terms of Europe, a competition that's probably the next phase in Exeter's journey? Not winning your games at home is pretty crucial, and again, where do the basics start in terms of Europe for Exeter?
I think no lack in effort from the boys. We do every single game, 100% goes into it. But I think when we're as a side are at our best and we're playing well, is like we said, when the conditions do open up, the rain does come, we're still strong. We keep the ball. We go into a gameplay where we know we can still throw the ball around where it needs to be, but we're strong on the ball. But yeah, today too much ball went down, I think, and in games like this, you can't afford to do that. And Gloucester, fair play to them again, they kept the ball and they scored when they needed to.
Rob, all but out of Europe now, must be disappointed, but where do you think the game swung today?
I think there's loads of moments in there. I mean, at the end of the day, you've got to congratulate Gloucester. They come here, there's difficult conditions for both sides. And I've just said the players, I think individually and collectively were outplayed today. And sometimes you've got to take that on the chin. You can give Gloucester plenty of credit as well. We'll be frustrated by some of the things that we've ended up doing in that game. We probably haven't. It's been pretty much an un-Exeter-like performance. We kind of talk about ourselves being a bit like a machine, and the machine needs its parts to kind of be well oiled and know which direction they're travelling in, and that didn't feel like that happened today.
Thanks, Rob.
Yeah, I think Rob Baxter will be sick of giving interviews like this. Unusually, it has been two weekends in a row now. It's not his sort of natural interview demeanour. And it's funny, Brian was talking about what must Exeter do to win their home matches. That's something that hasn't been a problem. You'd won all your home matches since February earlier on this year.
I don't know what it is with this competition. I know if we knew we'd fix it and we'd put it right. Not a lot of change from 2 weeks ago when we beat Gloucester down here. So it is. It's a bit of a blip in the system at the moment. But like Rob said, there's no lack in effort. We know where we want to go. And at the moment, so we're maybe at the competition. Who knows? We found out a couple of years ago, but we'll definitely go to Gloucester next week. Very positive still. Monday morning will be positive because we know we've got some great rugby to play still.
James, just a final word in Gloucester.
Well, I just think, just finally on Exeter, good sides know how to come back from losses, and it seems rare that we're talking about Exeter with back-to-back defeats, and I think the quality of the side will come through. There's no big surprises there. Don't reinvent the wheel with Exeter's game. They're very, very good, and I think Gloucester will take so much confidence out of this. They'll now be looking at the pool and thinking we can get through to a quarter-final now of Europe, and almost who knows from there. You're one game away from a semi, and then you can start to really get excited. So bright stuff for Gloucester.
European rugby at its best. Gloucester probably written off coming into this game, and they prove if you physically do your things that you do well, you possibly come out with a result. So disappointing for Exeter, but Gloucester will go away with this with a lot of confidence going into next week.